Books, no matter what kind of book you are writing, is only as good as the lifestyle you currently live. I've noticed this in my own life, noticing how well I've been writing. And with my progress that I've been doing these past several weeks, I noticed that the life I live correlates to the story I am writing. In this video, I'm here to not only guide you on what you can do to improve your own lifestyle, but in a way to showcase my own story so that you can write a better book. If you don't know me, I'm Arnel Arcega. I'm an author, writer, educator, and making sure that the world is more knowledgeable of books around us. I've been reading plenty of books in these past several weeks, and if I can help you so you could write your own personal story, then check me out in the Instagram down below and we can get started working from here. Alright, let's do this. Understanding why you want to write a book is the single most important reason to the book itself. Obviously, hundreds of people want to write a book. It's not hard to see why. It's a top minority that, whether you actually sell it or not, can be something you're truly proud of. And as someone who's building on top of this business of writing, it helps me understand why I want to write, not only for the profit, but to also showcase to the world that knowledge is important, and the way we teach it can be determined simply just by reading books. Some of the best information I've ever understood about the world come from books itself. One of the best cases of this feeling comes from the book How Fiction Works by James Wood, finishing around halfway through it and realizing just the pure integrity that comes with fiction, the details, the little nuances, and so on. How important that can build on top of your story is phenomenal. But the thing about details and how life is in general, the details in your story won't be as good as the story itself if you yourself don't live a good lifestyle. Looking back at my very first book, A Small World Smiles, you could check it on the top link of the description, it's still a solid book I genuinely enjoy coming back to, but the issue I noticed is the length it took. For my second book, it took me 3 months to finish the first draft. For A Small World Smiles, it took 6 months. Why it took so long was simply because I kept on procrastinating the book. I wanted to make this video for so long because I wanted to tell this story, just how long it takes to write a book, when it's not even the fact that it takes too long, rather we're spending too much time avoiding it. How many times have you come across a book or a simple idea that you just avoided? I noticed that I've done this plenty of times with hundreds of stories, and I didn't want to tell it because it's a lot to take in. There's so many pieces of one particular story, and in a way, our books are reflections of that. The product of an author is the sheer dedication they took to write something special, similar to James Wood here. They wanted to tell a specific message, whether it's important or fictional, that can allow the audience to grow and evolve. Why their books succeed and why your book is something that you're still working on is because your lifestyle itself isn't working for your book. The problem with many lifestyles is that many of us live a boring corporate life. We go to work, go to school, sometimes work on our book here and there, and then we eat, sleep, and continue the process. For someone who wants to truly be dedicated to this book, which I guarantee you should because of the greater benefits that come with it, whether it's from a financial standpoint or even just a pure dedication and discipline, understand that the way you write your book is correlated to the lifestyle you are given. Therefore, how you go about writing your book should be influenced by the life you are living. So how do we fix said problems? What makes your lifestyle not worth it? And as I just described earlier, corporate. Your lifestyle is boring. Let's be honest. You're someone who scrolls, someone who decides to spend most of their time watching YouTube videos, and so on. How do I know? Because I fell in the same rabbit hole too. Not to spit on my own ego, but I fell in a similar rabbit hole many weeks ago in May, in which I just had this time to start working on my book. But because of the school life and how it's almost at the end, I simply stopped caring. However, I needed to make sure that I get back to the same level. Because it's the summer, I need to stay disciplined even when no one is telling me to do so. And that is why a book is so valuable. Your book is only as good as your lifestyle. Therefore, if your book is not good, it's simply because you're not living the best possible life you can. So to fix these problems, start having fun moments. This is where I'd say my healthy side comes in. As the healthy writer, I make sure that you stay disciplined in this process, and there's 3 easy ways to break it down in the easiest manner for you and also for me too. The first major thing I would absolutely suggest when getting a better lifestyle is not only your book is more improved and involved, but to showcase details better, it's to simply go outside. Take some time in the sunny air, and while summer is here and it is hot, you could still have moments where you just stare at a tree, stare at the blue sky, or stare at some clouds. This way of just simply going outside each and every day gives us a break from the scrolling. It gives us a break from doing all these bad habits. Someone similar to me, as if you're watching me, this is what you must do so that you could have a better book. By noticing the details in our real world, you could tell a better story, a better nuanced idea that will be influenced by everything around us. Following that, you should eat healthier and go to sleep earlier. We know all the good habits we're told. Go to sleep, eat well, and exercise. They do what we need, and we can tell this in a much better and simpler way. By having this manner that we can tell something that is effective, we have something that can be easily understood for better and worse. Obviously, it takes time to do these things. But the third and final tip I want you to understand to live a better lifestyle is to go out and interact with people. I have a second channel explaining how to interact with people better to have more nuanced conversations, and if you want to check that out after this, you can. But to put it simply, you can still interact with people in your life, and by having this purpose of having friends and hell, even just strangers, you will have many of your problems solved with your story. If you don't know how dialogue works, details, and the simple manner of moving scene to scene, this is what you need to do. Your book is only as good as your lifestyle, and understanding that tip, why that point matters, is to make you not only procrastinate less on your story, but to tell something that's truly special. If you want to have a message that resonates with audiences, whether it's non-fictional or completely fictional, there is something that truly works. And if you want that piece, that central piece of your story to be felt by hundreds, maybe even thousands of people, just imagine the pure glory of it all, then you must live a better life. Remember that. Your book is only as good as your lifestyle, so change it and we can improve from here. If you enjoyed this message, I hope you can continue watching more of these videos. If you need help to write your own book, you can. If you have no idea how to start writing a book and genuinely want to, read my first book so you could get a better grasp of the idea. Remember, I wrote that first book when I was 15, and there's plenty of ways to go about it now. As it stands, keep on reading, keep on writing. Take care.